Hi there and welcome back to another edition of the CEO's blog. John, things are moving on very quickly at Wagga.
Rapidly, yes, and really quickly. The horse went 154 at the first race meeting there, a very soft meeting, and I must explain to the participants, and these meetings are only open to people with horses engaged at the races. This is to test the system, but it was fantastic. Neil Day, another feather in the cap for Neil. He won the first race at the new Riverina Paceway Wagga. So, but 154, it's certainly coming along, and as you say, rapidly. Yes,
and so there's another soft meeting coming up soon there?
Yeah, I'll repeat myself, and it is a soft meeting. We just need to test the systems. Everything at the meeting last Monday wasn't perfect. We want it to be perfect for the opening day, so I encourage everybody to be there on Sunday, the 10th of March, for the official opening of Riverina Paceway.
Well, sticking in the Riverina, it was Albury's Tab Carnival Cups on Saturday night.
Another great event. Most unfortunate, this meeting clashes with the Chariots of Fire meeting. It's a great meeting itself, so it doesn't get the coverage that it should. It's on Sky 2, so Harness Racing New South Wales, in consultation with the Albury Club, are looking to move it off that date and give it a standalone, where it is the main meeting in New South Wales for the day. So we'll work with the club and see how we go for 2020.
Okay, we'll look forward to that one. Well, let's talk about the Chariots of Fire on Saturday night. What a race. Poster Boy and Chris Alford combined to win the feature and broke 150.
150, but can I point something out? I was at Newcastle for the Newcastle Mile meeting, great meeting, but the rain came in and of course people started talking, and one wag came up to me and said, Menangle's no good, no horses win from the rear of the field. Well, better have a look at Poster Boy, in the best possible race there was. He came from the rear of the field, but many horses win from the rear of the field. What's great about Poster Boy, he's the second horse, joins Ya's Hotspot in the Ainsworth Miracle Mile. So the connections, Bill and Ann Anderson, have taken up that run in the Miracle Mile, so we're all looking forward to a great race.
Yeah, most definitely. $1 million. I wish I had a horse that could qualify for it.
Keep trying.
Yeah, we will. That's the dream, isn't it?
Well, there were plenty that nominated. The nominations were that huge for Menangle this past week. There's actually 12 races on the program. I compliment the club for digging into their funds and putting those extra races on. One thing that did occur, and it shows that you need to be in line with our integrity department. There were a couple of nominations came in late for that meeting, prominent nominations in those bigger races, and our policy is very firm. You nominate on time if you want to have a shot at being in a race.
Yeah, well, the fields are certainly very strong. We've got the Allied Express Sprint and the Canadian Club Sprint, both Miracle Mile qualifiers, and 8 horses will go around in each.
8 horses, same number as went round the Newcastle Mile. And like we've said with the Newcastle Mile, it was the first year that was an automatic qualifier. I think trainers will see what happened with the selection of these two races. 60, I think, nominations for the 2 sprints. Some people are saying, well, why didn't I take the option? Because they missed a run in these 2 big races. Why didn't I take the option of the Newcastle Mile? But that'll be next year. That'll be 2020.
Okay. And just going back to the handicap of those 2 sprints, that was a discretionary handicap?
It certainly was a discretionary handicap. The handicappers and David Wanson worked over those selections for several hours because it was such a difficult task. It was peer reviewed as another part of Harness Racing New South Wales policy, and we have 2 fantastic races.
Yeah, most definitely, and it's a great support card as well. We've got heats of the New South Wales Oaks and the New South Wales Derby as well. Some talented 3-year-olds going around.
Yeah, and Emma Stewart, doesn't she? I think she's got 9 horses in those races. So, and that's what it's all about: getting the best horses to New South Wales for the best prize money of any of the derbies or oaks in Australasia.
Yeah, well, some of those horses going around were purchased at the APG sales, and the APG yearling sale is coming up on March 3, the day after the Miracle Mile Carnival, but on Friday there's a yearling sale parade.
Yeah, organised by the Breeders' Association. I encourage everybody to go along. You can't buy your future champion unless you go along and inspect these horses. So you can read it in the catalogue and you can make up your mind, but you really need to see these horses. It'll be a great yearling parade. They've left no stone unturned, the Breeders' Association. They've joined with the Owners' Association and the UHRA. Anthony McDonald, the Canadian syndicator, will be at those sales, and Anthony, during the week at Menangle and Bathurst and what have you, will be presenting to anyone interested in getting into syndications and owning a standard bred. So I encourage people to attend those, take that opportunity and attend those as well.
Yeah, well, this yearling sale parade, it's turning into a whole event, isn't it? John Tapp is emceeing it, and they've got finger food and drinks as well.
Yes, and so it should. It's an opportunity to enjoy the night after the greatest harness racing event on the Australasian calendar, the million
sales on the Sunday.
Yeah, the Sunday, yes. But the night before, you've got that $1 million Miracle Mile, and there'll be winners and there'll be other horses engaged. But it's something for us to enjoy a weekend of harness racing here in New South Wales.
Well, I know the owners that win the Miracle Mile will have a bit of cash to spend.
They certainly will, but who is it going to be? I better not predict as yet.
Well, you're good at your predictions. While we're talking about young horses, John, let's talk about some additional 2-year-old races here in New South Wales.
Yeah, we have a very good 2-year-old policy where we guarantee races, and there's been some comment that there's not enough racing, we've started too late. We need opportunities. That we've run more 2-year-old races this season than last season, and that was more than the year before. So what we've done, though, to ensure that everyone gets an opportunity, especially with the Bathurst Gold Crown coming up very shortly, that's the end of March, we're running additional races. But trainers should be aware that if we get certain numbers, we'll split these races. We'll split them in fillies and colts and geldings, and we'll do all sorts of things to provide opportunities for 2-year-olds to race and for 2-year-olds to be ready to go for the bigger races. And the first of those bigger races is the Gold Crown Carnival. So just have your horse ready, have it qualified and nominate for races, and the policy should look after you. It's no guarantee it's 100%, but it should look after you. There's 2 races at Newcastle this week, so 12 nominations, 2 races. What more can we do? Yeah,
exactly. And the Bathurst Gold Crown will be here before we know it, won't it?
Oh, it certainly will. And there's 2 of those trial meetings coming up. There's 6 race programs on before the Bathurst trials, 2 Monday meetings. Harness Racing New South Wales has added 2-year-old races which weren't there to both those programs. So there's plenty of racing there. Trainers just have to front up and race up. Of course, we can't split 10 horses individually. We've got to do the best we can, and these are great opportunities.
Okay. And talking about great opportunities, the Team Teal fundraiser across Australasia is doing fantastic, but here in New South Wales we've raised over 17,000.
Yeah, well on target to reach last year's figure. However, Club Menangle have released only this morning the list of drivers that will drive in the Lexus Lady Drivers Race on Miracle Mile night, and we're paying an amount of money to cancer research through that. Club Menangle is actually going to pay for every single driver in the race. So thank you to Bruce and David, very generous, and the board, of course, to be really solid behind this fundraising and to help us raise more than what they do in any other state. Yeah,
most definitely. Well, I think we've hit the top.
Well, we're at the top, but there's a long way to go when you want to be on top of the Team Teal promotion.
That's correct. All right, John, thank you for your time. Is there anything else you wanted to add before I cut you off quickly?
No, just really excited about Saturday night's racing. You don't get better than 3 heats of the Oaks, 3 heats of the Derby, 2 wonderful eliminators into the Miracle Mile, and also a wonderful Robin Dundee Stakes for the mares.
Exactly. Well, it is the Sky Racing Carnival of Miracles. So, all right, John, I look forward to it. See you trackside Saturday night.
Certainly.